What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Me and Sweet T here, gonna be breaking down UFC
299 going down this weekend in Miami. Man, it is a fire card. We're gonna be breaking down the main card for you guys today, picking our winners, who we think's got it, and by how. Stay tuned to the end of the video so you see all of our picks, thoughts, breakdowns, all that good stuff. Let's get into it.
What up, everybody? What's up, everybody? This video is sponsored by DraftKings. Today, we partnered with DraftKings Sportsbook with opportunities to build exciting parlays and get in on the action with free-to-play pools. DraftKings has got you covered. Download the DraftKings app now. That's promo code Wonderboy, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
And action. So here we are, WB. We are on the cusp of a massive card, UFC 299 going down in Miami.
Hey, guess what?
Chicken butt.
We're gonna be there.
We are. Yes. We will be there again. Busy weekend. Excuse me if I sound tired, because I am. We were in Italy this past weekend. Still recovering from that time change, all that good stuff. Stay tuned for content coming out on that.
Yes.
But we got it. UFC 299. We're pumped. I'm excited.
Dude, me too, man. I literally think this card is better than UFC 300.
I think the reason a lot of people are saying that is because UFC 300 was so hyped up to be like this massive thing, and it's kind of been, you know, depending on how you look at it, a little bit of a letdown.
They shouldn't have hyped it up.
I mean, it was supposed to be like the biggest card, and it was just, you know, blown up. It is what it is. Still a great card, but UFC 299. Here we go. We're going to kick off the main card.
Kick it off, Sweet T.
We got Peter Yan taking on Song Yadong.
Both good fighters, man. We got Yan, who's ranked number 4, and Song is ranked number 7, trying to work his way up to take off that spot. Now, you have Yan, great wrestling defense, amazing boxing. He's like known for his boxing, his movement. He kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Lomachenko.
For a while, he was the guy of the bantamweight division.
Yes.
But as you guys might have noticed, realized he's 1-4 in his last 5 fights.
What the flip did, man?
He's only won 1 of his last 5 fights.
I think the illegal knee to the head kind of just did something to him.
Yeah, it really threw him off. The illegal knee, he lost the belt, lost that chance. That was a rough moment. But then he got the rematch, lost again. It is what it is. Rest is history. Still an amazing fighter, but he's taking on the on fire Song, and dude's 4-1.
Dude's 1-4, and he's 4-1.
He's 4-1. Great everywhere. Really tough, powerful, fast, and he's hungry, man. He's hungry.
He wants it, dude. It's hard, man, when you're facing those guys who are young and you know, they haven't made it to the top yet, so that's kind of like their focus against these guys who've been to the top, you know what I mean, been there for a little while, you know, and once they lose that belt or whatever, or I don't know if it's just a drive, I think it's a mental thing, I don't know what it is, but they just don't have that fire, you know what I mean? I'm not saying Yan doesn't have the fire, but you see that a lot at the highest level. Sweet T, who you got, man? It's a tough one.
That's tough, but here's the deal. You know, Yan struggled his last 5. I think he's mentally fired. I think this is do or die for Yan.
Right.
So I think you're going to see, you have to. You're going to see the best Yan, Peter Yan, that there has been. He's going to come back looking like his old self. And, you know, Song is a very beatable guy. He's not, you know, overly spectacular in any one area. So I think it's a very winnable match for Yan to get back on track and get the W. I'm taking Yan via finish. I don't know what round, but I'm taking Yan to finish.
Me too. I'm going to call second round.
Okay, second
round finish.
Gotcha. Let us know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Moving on to the welterweight division.
Welterweight division.
We got Gilbert Burns taking on the Australian prospect, undefeated in the UFC, JDM, Jack Della Maddalena.
And we're gonna start off with my man Jack. Number 1, why don't you think he fixes his nose?
Might as well let it ride out until no point in fixing it and get it broke again.
But every time I see it, I feel like, can you smell out of that thing? Afraid he's gonna lose his taste. But JDM, great fighter. He's working his way up. I think his last win was against Holland. Very close fight. My man JDM's got great boxing and amazing takedown defense. The guy is relentless with his boxing. He stays in your face. He's the gritty fighter. He wants you to kind of stay in the pocket and duke it out with him. That's where he wants to be. Obviously, look at his nose, okay? But he's got great takedown defense as well.
He also has good takedowns. He's got submissions in the UFC as well, so he's submitted people.
So he's 5-0 right now, undefeated.
Well, in his last 5 fights, he's actually 6-0 in the UFC.
Well, that's what I meant. Last 5 fights, he's 5-0. Now we got Burns on the other hand, high-level jiu-jitsu practice, great takedowns. Obviously, he took me down. I'm not saying like I'm the best, but anyway. And he's got some hands, man. He can put people down. When I look at these two fight, I look at, okay, nobody literally in this welterweight division is gonna be as tough as Khamzat Chimaev, who's moved up to 185. You saw that fight with Burns. That was a great fight, and Burns is not afraid to bite down on his mouthpiece and duke it out as well. He's got one-punch knockout power you saw against Damian Maia. He's put some people to sleep. He's got good wrestling and great high-level jiu-jitsu. Now, obviously, JDM has the advantage, the height advantage, I think the reach advantage, but I think Burns is still itching at the title. I'm going for my man Burns on this one. I think he's gonna mix it up. He's gonna get his guy up against the cage, maybe look to try to take him down, and when that doesn't happen, he's gonna use that boxing. Do I think he should stay there and duke it out with JDM? No, I do not. No, I do not. I think once he gets in the pocket, he's gonna look for the takedown, and he's gonna be able to mix it up.
I agree with you on most of that, but if you look at Gilbert Burns' last fight versus Bilal Muhammad, shoulder tear, what have you, injury is what it is. He got taken down. He got taken down a lot. I'm not saying JDM's gonna do that, but I am saying that Burns is he's very beatable. Yeah, Khamzat's tough, but Usman was able to finish Burns with his hands. And I think JDM's got better, crisper boxing than Usman does. Yeah. Is he as strong? Probably not. But I gotta go with the contender. I'm taking JDM for the upset. I think hands for hands, JDM's got Gilbert. Gilbert does have power, but he's kind of a loader. He loads his punches up and just swings. I think JDM's a little bit too crisp in the pocket for that. I think Gilbert's best chance of winning will be via the takedown, maybe even kind of the same path he went with you. Stay in tight, pressure JDM to the cage, and secure a takedown here and there. But anyways, with that being said, I think JDM knows that. I think he's young, he's hungry. He's 10 years younger than Gilbert, so I'm taking JDM for the upset. You
think it's gonna be a stoppage?
I think it's gonna be 3rd round TKO.
Oh man.
I'm taking JDM, WB's taking Burns. We wanna know who you guys are taking.
This video is brought to you by our partners, DraftKings Sportsbook. Wondering what the DraftKings Sportsbook app offers? Check out DraftKings Parlays, same game parlays, and SGPXs. Combine multiple bets together from the same game for a shot at an even bigger payout. Download the DraftKings app now. That's promo code Wonderboy only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Moving on next, probably the second most anticipated fight on this card.
Yes.
Kevin Holland, MVP. Kevin Holland ranked 13, 2-3 in his last 5 fights. MVP, obviously making that UFC debut, but if you know who MVP is, you've seen his Bellator work, the dude is electric.
Electrifying.
WB, you're familiar with both of these guys? Yeah. Break down their styles a little bit.
All right, so MVP 21-2 record. The dude is electrifying. He's broken people's faces. He's broken people's kneecaps. He's powerful, man. He's tall. He's lanky. He's explosive. He's unorthodox, and he's got that karate background as well. He's good at putting his hands and feet together and just throwing things out of nowhere. The flying knees, the tornado kicks out there. His timing is, especially in the welterweight division, is very, very high level. I think even better than Izzy Adesanya's timing. He's like 6'3". He's got a crazy reach. He keeps such a crazy distance between him and his opponent, like fight distance. It's very hard to close the gap on the guy. And when you do, you're catching a knee to the face. If you try to close the gap, he's meeting you in the middle. The guy stands completely sideways. His hands are down. It's what most people are not used to when you step out there in the cage. So that's very scary. Now, MVP can be knocked out, as we've seen in the past against the Diego or Douglas. I think it was Douglas Lima. So we know he's been put to sleep. Is Holland gonna do that? I don't know, man. Holland he can put you to sleep, dude. He's got leverage on him like nobody's business. You can go out there and knock out a 185er in Jacare Souza. On your back, you got power. Now, the crazy thing about Holland is he is also very unorthodox, throwing techniques out of nowhere, hands down. He likes to get in your head a little bit. And that's what I think I'm looking forward to seeing the most is MVP likes to try to intimidate his opponent, and so does Holland. So it's going to be a back and forth thing. Holland had a very close controversial loss to JDM his last fight, but that didn't keep him down. I think he's going to go out there. I think he's learned from our fight and how I approached the fight. So I think he's adapted to MVP style, and I think it's gonna be a better, probably more exciting fight for this one. So for this one, I am not gonna pick a fighter. Me and Holland are good buds, and me and MVP are good buds, so I'm keeping it neutral. I'm keeping it neutral, Sweet Tea.
Nice, I hear you. Totally respect that coming from, like you said, the relationships you have with those guys. I think you got most of it right. Holland, in my opinion, should be looking to wrap MVP up. Make it a boring fight. If he sits out there in space and tries to play the MVP game, anybody who does that is asking to get hurt. MVP obviously has got to maintain the distance, keep that space, and look to explode on Holland. Holland has a cranium from, wherever Captain America's shield is made from. Like it's unstoppable, and MVP, he relies just on that, like you said, quirkiness and explosion. I think if Holland can, again, turn it into kind of a boring fight, wrap MVP up, threaten submissions, I think that's the best way to go for Holland. I'm taking Holland to win the fight in a close decision. I just don't see MVP knocking Holland out, and he's not like a high volume guy where he's gonna pop, 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 pop. The only way he wins decisions is if the other guy just does nothing the whole time.
Right.
He's not a high volume guy, so I'm taking Holland with the grappling.
Okay, it's gonna be exciting, man.
Sure.
Very interesting.
Moving on, a co-main event in the lightweight division, we have Dustin Poirier taking on Benoit Saint-Denis, the Frenchman who's come out of nowhere. He's crushing dudes. He's 5-0 in his last 5 fights. I believe he only has 6 UFC fights, and he actually lost his UFC debut. But the dude's a stud. He's like a former French special forces in the military. And then obviously Poirier. I don't gotta say nothing about Poirier. If you know anything about MMA and the UFC, you know Dustin Poirier. You know what he's capable of. You know what he's about. The question is Poirier still hungry to stay at the top, or some people are even talking about this might be a retirement fight for him.
Stop.
I've seen it out there on the interweb. I don't know if that's the case. I think he can fight anybody and it'll be exciting.
Yes.
The question is can the younger, not necessarily younger in age, I don't know how old Denis is, but the younger in experience, can he overcome just the massive amounts of experience and toughness and durability of Dustin Poirier?
I think the durability is the key on this. Dustin Poirier, he's got really crisp boxing. He knows how to put his hands and feet together. He's fought the who's who of the division, everybody the best of the best. So it's gonna be, it's so hard to pick against him. And Denis, like you said, he's only had, 6 fights in the UFC? I don't think he's got the experience to beat Poirier. I don't think he does. I think Poirier's tough. He's hard to knock out. He's got great takedown defense when it's not Charles Oliveira.
Or Khabib.
Yeah. And what better guy? He's fought guys with excellent striking, such in Conor McGregor as well. He's fought guys who are very hard to knock out in Justin Gaethje. I think he wants to come off of this last fight that he had, and I think he's hungry. I think he's going to go for it. I'm leaning towards my man Poirier. I think he can come back. And I think Denis is favored to win.
Yeah, he is a slight favorite to beat Poirier for sure. Poirier got head kick knocked out versus Gaethje his last fight.
Nobody saw that coming. He didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that's why he got knocked out.
Yeah.
Denis is very capable of doing that same type of stuff. He's crisp. He's good everywhere. He's got submissions. He's got finishes. I think he's finished every one of his wins in the UFC. Poirier is Poirier. Y'all know that. But it's back to that. Poirier's been at the top for so long. Does he still have the drive? Is it going to be a retirement fight? Is he towards the end of his career? I'm taking Saint Denis via 29-28 on the scorecards.
This video is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Get in on the action now by downloading the app and signing up using promo code Wonderboy.
Finally, at the top, Sean O'Malley, Chito Vera, UFC bantamweight title on the line. O'Malley is the champ. Chito is the only person to beat O'Malley in his entire career via leg destruction. Will he be able to do it again? WB, take it away.
I bet I mean, hands down, I'm calling the first technique of this fight. It's going to be a low calf kick right to O'Malley's leg. But O'Malley's going to be ready for it. He knows what's up. Chito Vera just defeated Pedro Munoz, which, I mean, is saying something. Pedro Munoz is a tough fighter. He's working his way back up. And everybody wants to see this rematch with O'Malley because everybody thinks O'Malley would have won the fight if he didn't get leg kicked. So I do believe Chito Vera is going to have to, again, stick with the leg kicks. I think if he's going to shut down O'Malley, he's going to have to go for the legs. Also, he's going to have to make this fight dirty as well. It's very difficult to get in on somebody like O'Malley because he is so tall and lanky. He almost fights like a karate guy as well. I mean, even Aljo tried to close the gap on him, and you saw what happened. If you try to close the gap on this guy and you're not smart about it, he's going to put you to sleep. So from the outside, Chito's going to have to stick with the low kicks. Slow him down a little bit and try to get on the inside, even hem him up against the cage, but make the fight dirty. Now, O'Malley, on the other hand, I think this guy's gonna have to do the exact same thing he's been doing with everybody else. Keep it long, keep it lanky. Throwing stuff out of nowhere, the front kicks, the knees, the spin kicks. To keep Chito guessing, that's what you're gonna have to do. You have to pick him apart from the outside. And I think O'Malley can get this W with a KO.
I agree. Chito's got to stay heavy on the leg kicks. He's got to be smart. He can't just rush in. He's got to leg kick, and he's got to close the gap off of his strikes. O'Malley is crafty. He will throw spinning stuff. He will throw fake spins, and you guys know the whole deal. I think Chito's going to have to use leg kicks, close the gap, make it dirty. Everything you said, I agree with. I am also taking O'Malley. I don't know if it's going to be by KO. Chito's a very tough dude, but I am taking O'Malley to outpoint Chito Vera and retain the bantamweight belt this Saturday night.
Whoever wins or loses, this fight card is sick, bro. It's so and you know what worries me about these kind of cards that you think are going to be the best? It's going to be those every fight is going to go the distance.
I know, it's usually how it is. It's usually the cards that you don't think are going to be great, they pop off because the expectations are low, but these cards, the expectations are so high. I hope it lives up to the hype.
Yes.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our picks for UFC 299. We want to know who you're picking, why, the whole deal in the comments down below. We love you guys. Be on the lookout for us as we're at the fights this weekend.
We will be there, baby.
Subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Peace.
Peace.